Give me a few seconds. Oh, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button.
Good job. 10 seconds in.
Accidentally goes into the corner tab.
Anyway, so last time on Journey to the West, our little group of caravan guards had picked up a strange little gnome that had saved a couple of slaves from Drow before being
Perry?
And no, it was yes, it was Lenfoodle, Hunter's character.
Noodle.
Hunter's character. But with that, at the same time, late at night, your party was ambushed after they went out to do a little sparring by a large firebrand-like figure who had assumed a visage similar to the Doomslayer, and who knew Marhand and had tried to kill him and Greyfang, succeeding in half of that as he killed Greyfang and took his soul and ran off. At the same time, Drow had attempted to kill Alluri as well, but you were able to save his life. Well, and that resulted in Alluri saving Beiji's life from the Drow that was trying to kill him. It's been a trying journey, but you're halfway there as we're going to move on as several days later, you make it through the mountain path and are able to get close to the city of Berkshire, which is the halfway point on your journey to the capital of Trevland. How are you guys feeling about finally getting near civilization again?
Halfway relieved.
Yes, I would describe it like that as well.
It is excite.
You know that the leader of the group, Albion, is also happy to get out of this area as well, as he kind of like tells you guys about the area somewhat. Past the fortress is going to be mainly frontier, so you guys are going to be on your own for the most part because there's no villages in the area. But the place is usually calm. There's only like a noble out here who kind of like owns the land, but he doesn't really do much with it since he was executed back during a rebellion against the Emperor. Or the king of the Trevland Empire.
Hate to be him.
I hate to be his son, more like. Jarzo cuts in as he's riding in a caravan with a chalk.
Why is that?
Well, from what our intelligence have gathered, his son, after spending considerable time with the prince and his family, has gone back to his home territory to start up a little uprising. I do see a chalk kind of like look away at that. Yeah, he is, much to the annoyance of everyone. Might have to result in us putting down our old friend. That wouldn't be fun, you know.
I imagine a stripping of his title and an exile might be enough.
Considering that his father, considering that his dear old dad rebelled, him getting a slap on the wrist wouldn't exactly do since we killed his father for the same crime. That's probably the reason why he's doing this in the first place. Yes, but he wouldn't be so dumb as to act out this brashly. Grief does things to you. It makes you more stupid from what it seems.
Well, then you probably have a few options. Then. But that's the affairs that are way above my pay grade and my interest.
Yes, I'm sure indeed. He says with a bit of a smirk on his face before leaning back against the caravan. eventually, you guys are able to make it to Berkshire, and you see this little. And as you begin to see it in the distance, Albion says, "Thank God, finally, a place to stay." And as everyone that's on the caravan try to stand up on top of the cart to see if they can see the city in the distance. And you see this. The first thing you see is this large fortress in the distance, and Joe kind of like chuckles for a moment. The Berkshire stronghold. Even when man wanted to conquer the Aetherborn, that stronghold stood. I suppose it's a testament to the strength of Steamer, or to the folly of man, and as a symbol that we almost conquered most of the East. If it went for that anyway. Soon after you guys roll into the actual city, and the caravan kind of like stops in the market, and everyone starts dispersing for a moment to find things to do. And Albion kind of like gets off his cart, and you can hear his back pop as he stresses it. Thank goodness we're finally here. Yeah, I'm glad to be able to get off this cart for once. Clouds kind of perks up. Kind of like chimes in as he walks over. I'm almost done with this partnership on top of that. You said it there, which I'll be happy about. You won't be the only one. As the two of them, since the threat has ended, the two of them are kind of at the end of their, the two of them are at the end of actually trying to get along with each other.
Oh, yeah. Understandably so.
At least they won't be bickering now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the gods for that. You hear a Chalk whisper from behind you guys. He's like rubbing the back of his neck. And then you see a couple of guards walking over in like pure steel armor, like walking over and say, "The owners of this caravan? Yeah, that's us. One of you will have to come with us to speak to the commander. Unfortunately, you will not be allowed to pass through the city to head on to Trebland for some time." What? Why? Danger and an increase in tension and violence out in Trebland countryside. You won't be able to. For now, the commander is keeping the border closed in this area.
Oh, bully.
Oh, wonderful. Ugh. Well, which one of us is gonna go? Ugh. It doesn't matter to me either way. Well, is there any way we can help with that problem at all? Well, if you know of any adventurers who would be willing to brave the wilderness, that would be a start. Albion immediately turns to look at you guys.
How much?
That will be decided by the Verdant Adventurers Guild. They have notices all around the town for that we have posted. The payments will be on them.
How pressing is this? Do you want the solution to be made?
How quickly do you expect to get to the capital of Trebland? One of them says, crossing his arms.
Good answer.
We wanted to get there by next week. Well then, I suppose that you better get on that then, huh? Though you'll have to meet with the commander first to be able to take those quests, since he will have to allow you to leave. I assume you are all competent fighters.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
For the most part.
He looks at you all. And then he looks at a chalk in the back and says, "Ah, and you have returned as well. You'll have to come along as well. He'll want to speak to you as well, too." I knew I thought I'd be able to actually nap for once. Now, which one of these leaders are we taking with us? The guard asked to no one in particular. What do you guys think? Achak asks you guys. Should we take Albion or Clouds with us? Personally, I'm thinking Albion, but I kind of don't trust Clouds.
Albion's at least a little bit more honest with us.
Yeah, he's never lied.
Everyone.
Yeah, he's never lied to us. What do you think, Hiroshi?
That we know.
That might be the safest choice.
Right, you'll be coming with us then. Please, follow along. Some of the guards immediately walk behind you guys to make sure that you actually do follow as they start marching off. Oh yeah, it feels like I'm being arrested now. Wonderful.
Which one's Albion again?
Albion was the human leader of the group. He was the one that paid you guys.
Memories.
He was the one that paid you guys to begin with.
Okay. I'll always remember Clouds.
After he says it feels like we're being arrested. Memories.
In the corners of my mind.
Achak kind of glances over at you, but doesn't think much of it, and he kind of whispers something to himself, whispers something over his shoulder. If anyone would like to figure out what he whispered, you can roll perception if you want.
Okay. Who whispered this?
Achak. He whispered it over his shoulder.
Let's see what he said.
Let's see. Eight.
18.
Beiji, you hear him whisper over his shoulder. Going to message you this.
What happened? I cut out.
Roll perception. Ren? Actually, no.
No die.
Well, I mean, you can type it.
Yeah, in the rolling chat.
No fingers.
No fingers. What's your modifier?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think it's a +4.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
She got a 21.
Okay, she'd hear this too. I'm gonna message you this, Jewel, so be sure to check your phone.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Has it sent?
What the hell?
Yep, it's been sent.
Comet Swan. What the fuck?
What's that mean?
He whispered.
Comet. And it's named after a swan.
What?
Are you referring to what I sent you?
Comet Swan.
Are you referring to what I sent you or to what Roxy said?
Both?
Comet Swan is visible to the naked eye and it may get even brighter. I was just looking up stuff on Google and it was one of the top stories or whatever, and I'm like, it's fucking purty.
Good job.
So what is your
purty.
So for the ones who heard that, what is your reaction to the statement that you heard?
He says that immediately after I say the thing about memories.
No, he's more just saying that in general, he's whispering that over his shoulder as you guys are walking behind the guards. Or walking between the guards.
How do I say the name?
Joe.
Oh, and who says it?
Achak.
Oh.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So
I kind of squish into the group a bit more.
As you
Although
guys,
I also try to maintain close distance to shadows. Sorry, continue.
you're good. As you are escorted by the guards of the local garrison, you are immediately greeted to the sight of 2 iron golems with magical stones in their chest. As you guys get closer to them, the blue stones light up red and 2 voices command, "Identify yourself." Everyone roll me a wisdom save. This would be a +2 for Ren.
Thank you.
Ren got 15, and I got a. Seven. I got a nat 1. What the fuck?
I'll tell you whatever. Or wait, this. Oh wait, this might not be something I tell you,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's not that type of thing. It's a
And
wisdom
Beiji,
save.
and Beiji, what'd you get?
14.
Okay, Beiji and Horatio, you 2 are immediately compelled to say your names and what you're doing in Berkshire. It's kind of like it's being forced out of you.
Okay.
I got a 15. What happens to me?
Nothing.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
so Perry, Roxy, names and what you're doing in Berkshire.
Horatio Thalaic and mission statement.
Mission statement.
What are we doing here?
To guard a caravan,
The guard caravan.
unless you have ulterior motives of some type.
Nah.
Beiji.
Beiji, Fingbao, guard to the, what's the caravan company name again?
The Black Gold Trading Company.
Guard to the Black Gold Trading Company, seeking to spend coin, gamble, drink, and do some adventuring, while also finding my brother.
After that sensation of being forced to say it is gone, as the golems kind of like their red lights kind of like go out a little bit.
Do they say anything to me or anything?
Nope, they don't seem to notice. They don't seem to notice somewhat, though they're slightly blue. They're not fully blue because not everyone said something. As Achak, Ren, and the guards didn't say anything. Oh, yeah. Yes, that is... Well, at least we know that you aren't lying to us. One of the guards says before they can continue to lead you further. Always hated that thing. I do hear a Chalk whisper behind you guys.
Oh, damn.
That was pleasant.
I didn't have to say anything. Hee.
Yeah.
I didn't know why they were supposed to. Kind of uncomfortable.
That's what they do around here. They never suspect that people are actually telling the truth, so they have golems use magic to force it out of them.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, it should be used more often in some cases, because of how many liars there are. And he's kind of like, though I have to. Whoa. And as he says that, you guys are greeted to a pure iron force that looks like it was just smelted today. No imperfections, no nicks in the iron, and it stands alone and as normal, as perfect as it has stood there for probably many years. The Iron Maiden, you hear Achak say. A lot of the old kingdom tried to take it before Trevlin came along.
What is
I,
like? Sorry.
no, you asked basically what I was about to say.
Okay, yeah. So, what is it?
the Iron Maiden's a fortress. Like, it's the fortress of the city, and it is like huge. It's made out of. It looks like it's made out of pure. It looks like it's made out of pure iron, and it looks perfectly cut. And
people have tried to steal this?
No, people have tried to conquer it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It
Does look strong, right?
Yeah, it does. And Achak kind of says, I'd like to take a crack at it potentially.
Don't say that too loud near the guards.
They already know who I am. They probably know I've already thought about that. Anyway. Besides, sieging's not really my thing. Too much standing around. And you guys are led into the center of the fortress, and you are brought inward, and you see a large garrison force just training, walking around, or just standing guard across across the entire place of the fortress. Now this feels like home, and you see mainly Ganassi from what it looks like, as you see fire, earth, air, and water Ganassi just scattered all over the place as different guards and the like. You see a couple of Aasimar and Tieflings sprinkled throughout, but it's really just the people that were.
What's the what you cut off?
I know. It's just the people that are part elemental that seem to mainly be here.
Oh, interesting. Why are there only elementals?
Achak kind of cuts in. The Ganassi usually are the guys that the Aasimar and the Tieflings trust to guard the border. They're the most militaristic, especially if you look at the fire and earth ones.
I miss my dear Tiefling.
And you guys are brought up up one of the stairs to the ramparts, where you see this person in full armor regalia, though more new and better material than the one that the other guards has, and they're kind of like looking down at some papers as they hear you approach. Commander Steele, sir. A caravan has arrived, along with some adventurers that might be able to help us in our matter, and they brought the Prince of Trevland along with them. All right, you're dismissed. The guards immediately smash their fists against the breastplate of the armor, and then they all leave, leaving just you guys and the commander. He then looks at all of you. Well, welcome to Berkshire, the garrison of the western border of Steamer. Well, welcome to all but one of you, he says as he doesn't seem happy to see Achak. Hey, Regis. Nice to see you too, buddy.
I see you, Molly.
And Regis Steele kind of like pulls his helmet off, showing a earth elemental with skin that looks like it's made out of steel. So, what are you all doing? What is a caravan doing out coming this way?
I'm assuming the boss is elsewhere.
No, the boss. Oh, I thought
Wait.
you guys wanted to say.
I got this. We're traveling.
Yeah. If you want a more of a fitting answer, Asia will speak. New route, or a test of a new route, rather.
You picked a bad time to come this way, then.
It's a test. Experiments are meant to fail or succeed, so.
Noted. I'm sorry, but what's the problem exactly? Well, the Gravier family, or the last son of the Gravier family, has risen in rebellion against the Trevland Crown. As a result, he's taking up his father's old mantle and is attacking anyone and is using his soldiers to attack any loyalists to the Crown, or any non-humans that travel through the area. Yeah, of course he is. As such, we have to close down. We had to close down the gates and the border for now, in order for there to be less harm. It's bad enough that the southern border has to deal with a large amount of sickness with the orange fever. I would like to not have a war zone come through as well, amongst a number of other matters as well that have caused an issue. Well, is there any way we can help with that? With the war, well, with that rebellion, I don't see any way, since it's his responsibility. Motions to your human companion. But there are other matters that we could use your help with that have already been brought to the Adventurer Guild's protection, mainly disappearances and roving monsters, as it were. You're welcome to take them at any time, but until these matters can be dealt with, you will not be heading further west.
So effectively, you need an extra set of hands to help you handle the situation.
Yes, until some of these matters can get resolved, anyway.
Well, I would ask for payment, but I would ask about what payment would look like, but I imagine you want the problem solved before the paycheck can be written.
Yes, because the payment has already been established with the guild, and they have determined the price that it would take. Now they'd most likely pay you a handsome price for it. For me, I gain nothing out of this. It's your caravans that will need this place to be open more than I will.
All right. Anything you want us to prioritize?
There have been disappearances of many people out before and during the rebellion. So supposedly it seems to be an unrelated matter, but I tend to think otherwise. Goblinoids have gone missing from their tribes. My own guards have gone missing as well, and adventurers from the Verdant Guild have also gone missing in their investigations.
Do you have a map of these disappearances, or no?
It seems to be all over Eastern Treveland. It's across. After Berkshire, you've reached Treveland, so it's in their territory. And then he motions over to most of the landscape. You see a bit of forest near the mountains, and then nothing but flatland. But mainly flatland after that, with a few rolling hills. There's not that much of a wide. It's mainly been near the mountains, from what I could tell. But sometimes it's gone further out.
Alright. Anything else down that list?
A few monster sightings here and there that have attacked wanderers. Another reason we had to close it down. And then the rebellion itself, but that would have to be dealt with by Treveland, since no one would be paying adventurers for that. I suppose that you have some work to do there, don't you? Yeah, that's if I'm the one that does it. To be honest, it kind of sounds...
I suppose on one end, the work is already cut out, so to speak.
Yes. Should be simple matters of killing monsters and finding the disappeared people. At least I hope that finding them would be that easy.
Well, then I'll ask you this. Do you have access to written reports and addresses of towns and locations, or you do not?
There are. In this area, you'll find a few farms scattered throughout, but not really any towns. Again, countryside. People haven't really settled out here yet. Well, his people haven't. I can give you a general map of the area, but it wouldn't be much.
Just something to put access on to where some of the more recent disappearances have taken place, and going from there.
I'll have a scribe bring you the map. I'll have a scribe bring you the map, so that way you can make use of it.
Thank you. I'll look at I'll be on. You mind a few days being laid up in this town?
So I got a choice, but as long as it's a few days, I can work with that.
Got anything you can liquidate to make up?
Yeah, I can get a few things. Not much, but it should work for now.
Question. Who was the one who said they wanted a nap?
Kachak.
I turned to him. Look, you can finally get your nap in.
Yeah, I doubt it.
For a few days.
I doubt it. Speaking of which, is my little guy still here? Your companion? Yeah, him.
Mine?
Yes, he's still here. Good. Give me a second. Kachak kind of like wanders off to the side a little bit and gives a whistle, and then you hear this in the distance, and suddenly you see this large-sized griffin come swooping down and landing in front of Kachak. Ah, there you are, boy.
Oh.
You have a pet griffin? I'm the Prince of Trevland, and it's our coat of arms. Of course I have a pet griffin. Kind of like pets it a little bit. And if any of you guys try to get near it, it kind of like growls somewhat. Just might want to keep your distance. He's only a fan of me and a few other people.
What's my animal handling?
Not that good, probably.
Oh. Oh well.
If your wisdom's a +2, then all it is a +2, I think. Because I don't think you're proficient in it.
Okay.
Beiji would try to rub its snout, but he's not. All he's gonna do for right now is just simply hold out his hand and let him sniff it.
Kinda does, but he doesn't react much after that.
Beiji would just look back over to where the commander is.
Well, Commander Steele says, I suppose I'll let you have free reign of the town itself. There is something here you can look into. There's the smithy, the Maiden Smith. There's a local alchemy shop. There's the Lightbringer Church, the Onyx Inn, the Garnet Mages Guild, should you need any magical assistance, and the Verdant Adventurers Guild, where you can pick up with your job.
Alrighty.
And that'll be all. Just be sure.
Thank you for giving the cliff notes of your town. We probably would have spent a couple hours just wandering around.
Everything's in the market. You should be able to find it easily, but you're welcome. And then he kind of dismisses you guys, and you guys are free to leave. And then, right when you guys are when you guys are walking into the city, he says, "Kachak, did you find an answer to your question?" Well, but if I answer, despite the fact that I know that if my answer's not good enough, you'll cut me where I stand. I'll go with no. I haven't found an answer yet. Still trying, though. He then gives him a wave with a smile, but Steel is easy. You can tell that Steel's glaring him down as you guys are heading out. Knew he'd bring that up. And now you guys have...
What was that about?
To get him to let me and my friends across the border, I had to tell him what the purpose of our visit was. And he wasn't exactly happy when he found out what the question I was looking for an answer to was, and he's still wondering what my answer's gonna be.
What's the question?
I think that's something that I'll keep between me and him for now. He gives a bit of a wink.
Oh.
And then, as you guys walk out of the fortress, he asks in the middle of the air, "Got what you needed?" And you just hear coming from the shadows, "Yes." Good. And then
Is that...
It's Joe. You can tell by his voice as a truck walks off. Whoop! I'm gonna go meet up with my friends. You guys have fun now. He kind of like gives a wave as he's walking away.
That's rather nice of him.
That kid is weird. Besides the fact that he's a prince of an entire kingdom that doesn't act like one.
People come in many shapes and sizes and attitudes.
Yeah, but never met someone as lazy as him in such a high position as him.
I would say I would chalk it up to nobility, but he seems different.
Yeah, his old man's nothing like him.
Chalk it up to nobility.
I'm tempted to dock your pay for that.
Hey, I didn't say it. If anything else, her pay should be docked.
From what I remember, if one person's pay gets docked if I lose a caravan, all of your pay gets docked, so you might want to keep that in mind.
Let's not, then.
Major will partially roll his eyes.
I'm messing with you. Anyway, I'm gonna go get things squared away to get sold. You guys go do whatever. Albion then heads off himself.
First, I want to make a couple of stops before heading over towards the Adventurers Guild properly. So, look at the others who. So I'm the one leading the rope currently. Actually, it might be best I just make a beeline for the Adventurers Guild.
Up to you.
Then go from there. He just scratches his head. Yeah, I better pick up the quest before someone else does.
Alright, so you're gonna head to
I'll go with you.
Alright, Verdant Adventurers Guild. Alright, so you head over to that building, and you find that it doesn't take that long to find it because each one of these places, it does have a sign that has the name for those who can read and a symbol of a verdant green dragon. A verdant green ore in place of the symbol as you guys arrive, clearly showing that that's the place. And it's not really hustling and bustling right now. It kind of seems like it's quieted down, mostly because probably adventurers are either not there or have been disappearing for a while.
Is there a reception desk set up here?
Yep, as soon as you walk in, you see that there is a reception desk where there appears to be a Air Ganassi female kind of just sitting there, like, looking through papers.
Beiji will walk up to her, politely knocking on the desk on the tabletop.
Yes, can I help you?
The missing people and monster wanderings currently that are happening.
She takes her inkwell and she points it over at a nearby notice board.
Are those the only copies? Or
welcome. We usually restock them. We stock them once they're taken down. So just in case the group that tried to do them fails.
Fair enough. Nathan, before I step over and snatch those down, what's going on here? Usually an Adventurers Guild is riling crazy.
Well, mostly
on a day like today.
Most of the adventurers are away from, wouldn't stop here. The three adventurers that do stop here usually went missing because they took the one quest that everyone's been talking about, and then most of them are probably not in the country in general, as they've been heading south or north or anywhere that suits their fancy.
So basically nothing interesting around here.
Not really. Makes my job easier, though.
Well, thank you for point out.
Makes it easier to get paid as well, since these jobs are less likely to get done.
Is there any additional information you can give us on the missing people that could help us?
There's probably people that could tell you more than I can. I'm just the receptionist.
Who would we talk to about that?
She points over to a few of the actual adventurers there that are kind of just sitting around, just having drinks amongst themselves.
All right. Beiji will go over and untack the wandering monster and the missing persons quests.
Right.
I kind of wander over to where she gestured towards the other adventurers, and as I approach, I try to greet them and ask them what they know on the missing people.
They kind of look at you and they're like, you a new adventurer that's going to try and take the job?
Yes.
Might want to write a will before you do.
Are there any shadows close to me?
Yes, there's shadows all over the place.
I step into one and I step out of one right behind the one who said that. I pat him on the shoulder. I'll think about it.
Yes. He kind of gets startled by that, kind of spilling some of his drink, and he's like, Anyway.
Is there anything you could tell me about them?
Mainly near the mountains, for one thing. Probably the dwarves. Probably those gray dwarves pulling something. They are devil worshippers, so it wouldn't surprise me. Takes a sip of his drink. No, I think it's those drow. We all know that they've been wandering around here and there, and we've had to deal with them time and again. Or it could be one of those. It could be some far-reaching dragon conspiracy. You never know. It's like the three of them are kind of talking, or kind of like spitballing amongst themselves.
Interesting. Well, is there anything else that I should know about this, or that could be helpful, or? Yeah.
From what we can tell, whatever it is, it might have to do with, well, it kind of started around the time the orange fever started really kicking up. So might have something to do with that. Well, it's not that far north up here because of how cold it is. So I don't know what it could be.
Interesting. Well, thank you. I appreciate your knowledge.
He takes it. He takes a drink.
I kind of walk back towards where Beiji is and look at some of the posters, the missing posters he has.
One of the missing posters. Okay.
Ooh. As with my name dropping background feature, would I recognize any of the missing people?
Nope. No one ever noticed, but you do hear a whisper. You do hear whispers from behind you. Well, plenty of missing people for you to look into.
What'd you say?
He said, well, plenty of messy people for you to look into. Might even stumble upon something.
Is that the whispering? Is it Nerul?
Yeah, it is. Only you can hear him.
I kind of chuckle a bit and say, we'll see. Hopefully something interesting will come from this. Of course, I'm saying this in the middle of a group of people to no one in particular, so... Do you know anything about this? I kind of say back to him.
I've been looking into this for some time, but the orange fever took my interest away. Having you deal with it would be far easier, though. And it would help with your training as well.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, we had said that he was... Okay, yeah, never mind. Lovely. Then this should be very fun. Indeed.
Indeed. Try to stay alive. Wouldn't want you to disappoint me.
I'll try. Thanks for the confidence.
I have confidence in few. You have to earn mine.
Understandable. I haven't died yet.
There's silence after that.
Beiji looks over at Beiji looks over at Ren. Who are you talking to?
Just an old friend. No need to worry.
Alright.
Wait, before when I had mentioned Nerul's name, had Beiji been nearby and heard that? I forget.
I think you were at the tavern when that happened, weren't you, Beiji? Because you were playing cards at the time.
I was at the tavern too. So yeah.
It was probably playing lightweight cards or just a fun little game and not really gambling a whole lot.
True.
So he'd probably be able to hear something.
So after I said Nerul's name, he had kind of hadn't everything like stilled, and then he kind of spoke back to me where everyone could hear.
Yeah, mainly because you had said his name, and a group of people had all reacted to it. But this time, he's just speaking to you directly.
Right. So, as I say, just speaking to an old friend, I gesture towards the shadows. And
Beiji looks at.
She understands.
Beiji looks at her for a few seconds. My brother? He asks kind of like, he asks, but then he sticks his tongue out a little bit like he's goofing off.
Of course. Who else would I be speaking to?
Alright.
And then you hear another whisper for a quick second, Ren, that says, yes, the dragon. I need to look into him as well. And then nothing else. You don't get an answer.
Oh. I kind of subtly, suspiciously look towards Beiji, but also since I've been working with him so far, I'm not too suspicious of him, but I'm curious now.
Also, every time he speaks to you, by the way, the shadows kind of like grow onto you. Like if he's like kind of like grow on, like latch onto you and like rise up to be like near your, like onto your shoulder and near your ear. So that way, it sounds like the shadows themselves are whispering to you.
So cool. Does anyone else notice this, or would it just be?
Not particularly. Not many people take notice, especially since your skin kind of like doesn't make it look like the shadows are happening that much.
Okay.
Would
the other shadow, the other Shadokai, hear or notice any of this?
You don't see any of
Or
them.
is he nearby?
Oh, you don't see any Shadokai near you right now.
No, what's his face? The one,
Joe's not a Shadokai.
Oh, right. Never mind, sorry.
He's human.
I can't remember stuff.
What were you gonna say, Perry?
Probably at this point, Beiji's probably gonna take down each of the posters, and then he's gonna walk over to a table and.
Do you want to grab just the missing people, or do you want to grab other ones too? Out of curiosity.
I'll grab
Missing.
the other ones.
All right.
All right.
And then Beiji's going to be using his, when looking at all the missing persons things, he's gonna actually use his background feature, never tell me the odds, and see which ones are more likely to still be hot, have a hot trail, quote unquote.
All right. As you're looking down at the papers, you notice that many of them appear to be humans because they're being taken mainly from human lands. But you do notice that quite a few goblin. You see Fifth Son's regiment, as it's a regiment of goblins, bugbear, and hobgoblins went missing as well. Their trail might be easy to find because you know that hobgoblins are very organized when they're marching, very organized, and they keep the other ones in line. But even when they don't, bugbear, while they don't keep that much of a trail, goblins you can easily tell when they're running around places, since the humans like to keep them in line and keep specific markings to zone where they're supposed to be.
All right.
There's a few humans that were taken from villages. Particularly, it's only adults from what it looks like. Children are rarely taken. So the orphans are kind of like sent off to the cities, as it were. So whoever's doing the kidnapping isn't aiming at children and the like.
Beiji he'll murmur out. Well, at least he now has a chance of, whoever's perpetrating this, he at least has a chance of being handed in by the authorities.
Hey, my phone's on like 2%, so I'm gonna hop out for a bit. I'm gonna try to join later, but I might not. Sorry.
It's fine.
Bye.
Bye. That looks like it's just you and me for right now, Perry.
Alright, so humans, goblins, mainly adults. Like, is it multiple? Is it like both parents? Just a single parent? What's going on here?
Usually a single parent is usually the one that wanders too close. Like, for the ones that disappear near the mountains, it's mainly the ones whose occupations led them there, like miners, travelers, loggers, because most of these happen near the forest as well, since those grow more common near the mountains.
Hurry. Any particular name, like, do these state like the particular town or region that these each of these disappearances occur in?
Actually, funnily enough, as you ask that, a guard comes in with a piece of parchment for you. The map you requested of the local area.
Oh, thank you. It's in like a scroll case and whatnot, or is it like?
Yeah, it's in a scroll case.
Out in the open. Okay. Beiji will take it and he'll pop off the top and roll out the map.
All right, give me a second. I'm trying to post the map here. Here we go.
As he does that, and when he gets the map out, he'll dig out a bag of crappy dice wait a minute. Actually, wait a minute. He's actually going to get out his bag of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And his bag of loose ammunition, and use the lead balls to mark out where each of the markings are.
Alright, so particularly the map is mainly of the local area, but they do give you, like, the radius at which people are disappearing from, and the guy wasn't kidding when he said it was near the mountains, if you look at the map in the,
Alright. So this blue circle here,
Mm-hmm.
and which town are we in?
You're
on
in
this map?
You're in Berkshire. I'm sorry, south of the blue circle.
Okay.
You know that the rebellion is currently happening in the province west of you, mainly province west of you. It's mainly, from what you can tell, for the most part, it's mainly centered in the city of Kurtamaken, but the rebellion does have to move around so that way they can't be tracked down by the crown raiding across the way, as it were.
Okay. Vasia will rub his chin. The guard captain did say that the border was closed in this general area, wasn't it?
Yes, but he said yes, but if you're going to be dealing with the problems that are going on out there, he said he'd be willing to let you through to deal with that. He just wouldn't be letting your caravan through.
Okay.
Because he did let adventurers through to try and investigate that disappeared.
Alright. Vasia makes a note to self for some sort of documentation to be drawn up.
Mm-hmm.
Or ask for documentation to help if they're stopped on the other side of the border. So, alright. Well, we got the area we're going to be going into, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Murmurs to himself.
And then you hear the door open up, and you see Luria walk in. A couple of people kind of like glance over at him, give him a side eye, but he doesn't seem to pay much mind to it as he walks over to you. I thought I'd find you here.
Yes, I'm currently to help get the caravan across the border. At least I have so far. I look at the other members of our party who are somewhere. Suddenly Ren was here, but suddenly she's gone.
Probably awful. She seems to be looking at some of the other posters that aren't related to the missing people. Trying to see what other gold opportunities you guys can make too.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't say I'm trying to be a detective here, but I'm trying to figure something out here.
What are you trying to figure out?
There's been a rash of missing persons that keep occurring in this general area. He points on the map. Yeah, as he does this, he hands him some of the posters, some of the missing persons posters.
Although he kind of looks between them. None of them Elven, so that rules out the Drow.
Yes, but isn't it common for the Drow to take non-Elven slaves? They can. True,
but they would have taken the children too if that was the case. And what I can tell, there's a lack of children here as well. While kidnapping slaves is a good routine for them, they also like when they can have them have families, so they can just simply raise slaves into the business. He says businesses with a quote unquote.
While he's talking, Beiji pulls out pulls out a small bottle of ale he has. He gotten from before the previous encounter or the previous session.
Yeah.
Pours out some ale and motions over to Alluri.
He takes it and kind of takes a drink of it as he sits down in front of you. You mind if I join in on this? I won't expect payment or anything, but I'd like to help. I am a blood hunter after all, or an attempt at one.
Oh, here. In my book, you are what you are. What you say you are. So.
He nods. So we'll look at mountain territory from what it looks like.
Indeed, and as much as my history with dwarves say I don't want to say dwarves are involved currently.
If I think anything, the Grey Dwarves are enemies of the Drow, so I doubt they'd be helping them in their kidnappings. Though they do have a bit. And they're allied. They're technically part of the Dwarven Kingdoms, though the dwarves don't like to be reminded of that sometimes, considering that their Grey Dwarven brothers are a bit.
Questionable.
Yes, it's bad enough that they made pacts with devils and the like, but it doesn't help that they made their own pantheon as well. That split off from the dwarves, the normal Dwarven one. That seeks to usurp the Dwarven pantheon on top of that.
Alrighty. Okay, real quick, out of character. Scruffy's needing my attention, so I'm gonna switch over to my phone so he can stay somewhat rolling.
Alright.
So unless we get info otherwise, the Grey Dwarves are kind of out of the question.
We might find someone that says otherwise, but yeah, I'd leave that option alone for now. I'd leave it open though. That's a good theory. Probably something that other people might not have thought of.
So, well, considering some of the affected groups here are goblin. Now, dwarves and goblins kind of have the worst running relationship on the planet.
Oh yeah, it's almost as bad as the elves and the orcs. Or the orcs and the dwarves. Or the orcs and anybody. Or the drow and anybody. Yeah. Anyone who really allied with the demons, I mean the goblinoids didn't really have a bad relationship with everybody from what it looks like.
Alright.
But goblinoids being kidnapped, they form a bit of a military portion of Trevland actually. Maybe this might be related to trying to weaken Trevland.
Maybe.
Could be dealing with Steamer rebels, or even the rebels that are rebelling against the king.
True. And there is technically a rebellion going on right across the border.
Yeah, if Atrak were here, I would ask him about it, but he's not currently, wherever he is.
From my understanding, from what I've heard, it seems to be this situation is a tiny bit of a powder keg here, you know?
Yeah, and we can't go anywhere until that powder keg is thoroughly gone or it explodes.
You know how I am.
I've noticed your grenades, yes. I wouldn't be surprised if things go boom. Takes a drink out of his ale with a bit of a smirk on his face.
Yes. But at the same time, if you can defuse a bomb without it going off, it's a victory.
True.
So, the general occupations of non-goblinoids are miners and loggers.
Taken mainly from the forest?
Forests and some of the mountains, it looks like, but I'm not sure. I know there's certain mines that can exist on flat land. So, take that.
Wait, guys! Ren kind of pokes up as she comes over with the photos. I think I got something here.
Asia will look over, sipping from his ale.
You kind of like she walks over to the map and kind of like takes some of your bullets, and then she kind of like shows that the areas that monsters are occurring in is close by or in the radius of the disappearances. Now isn't that a huge coincidence?
Well, it's not uncommon for a missing person to go missing because of a monster attack. But that kind of takes away the ability of finding them alive.
Wait a minute. And then Alluri kind of like says, "What if but these go back? These monsters didn't start happening until after the disappearances got worse."
Back.
Welcome back. Currently, you guys are in the Verdant Adventurers Guild, looking at missing people posters and monster hunting posters for quests, and Beiji suddenly come across a revelation with the help of Ren and Alluri being the Dark Elf Blood Hunter.
What have you found, Beiji?
Okay, so there's a string. Just to catch you up here, the captain of the guard has a handful of problems that need solved. Adventurers are problem solvers, so short answer, missing persons and wandering monsters. What it is that these originally me and Alluri were thinking that this could be some sort of weird conspiracy going on involving missing person. But Ren, I imagine she, looking at her set of info, was able to connect the missing persons and the wandering monsters, since they're relatively in the same area. Which means which possibly means the wandering monsters are taking people.
I'm sorry, what was that last thing you said? I'm trying to make my brother be quiet.
The missing persons cases and the wandering monster sightings are connected somehow.
Okay.
Or connected because they're in the same relative area.
Have we ever considered magic being a part of this as well? Maybe a druid unhappy with the people nearby disrupting the land? I mean, there are loggers and miners which can sully the land. Or a mage conducting experiments, maybe? It hasn't been uncommon. The Mages Guilds don't exactly keep a tight leash on everyone, so it's not uncommon for them to have to. It's not uncommon for a few rogue mages to get out and cause trouble.
What are the monster descriptions?
Some of them usually describe owl bears. There's been a few sightings of displacer beasts, which is a weird thing of itself, and there's also been supposedly shadow dogs.
Like I said it 3 times, dude. I tried to be polite, but then I had to walk out the door when you hear me. I will call him.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't have to shut up when I'm right.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing. Yes.
Owlbears were created by wizards, correct?
Yeah. Oh, are you asking that in character or out of character? Out of curiosity.
Both. Because Veishi would probably heard it if they were a drunken story, but it's a drunken story.
Oh yeah, owlbears are a creation of a wizard who got a bit too experiment happy. No one knows who it was, but it happened at some point.
Alright, so there's that. But the displacer be shadow dogs, are they?
Yeah, just shadow dogs. I don't know much about about the corridors of shadows, as it were. I can't answer that. Ren kind of bumps in again. Yeah, the word you're looking for is shadow mastiffs. They're kind of like weird dogs that hunt throughout the corridors of darkness. They have a habit of causing trouble in there too.
Alrighty.
And displacer beasts. I don't exactly know much about those. However, Horatio.
You're not sure what to make of those?
Yes.
Roll me a nature check, Horatio.
Okay. Oh, God damn it. 5.
You wouldn't know much, but you would know this. Use them.
I'm having a really hard time concentrating in this environment.
You're good. Right, there you are.
There you go, baby girl. Flip him back over.
Alright.
Okay. What do I do with this information?
Well, they're trying to figure out what they can figure out about displacer beasts, and none of them can really think of much, but you would know that out of everybody in the party.
Well, they live in the Feylands, and people tame them and use them for servants sometimes. And they like to hunt for sport as well as food. And they can be cruel and are known for kidnapping.
Huh.
So, yeah, this definitely links the disappearances and the other stuff together.
What exactly could we be dealing with then? It's clearly something that's smart.
It'd be some sort of druid taking control of all these different animals.
That means a druid somehow figured out a way to control objects of the corridors of darkness, which is a terrifying possibility in of itself. Maybe though. And that's not uncommon for druids. Sometimes druid circles to turn on innocent people in general.
Sorry, say that again?
He said it's sometimes not uncommon for druid circles and lone druids to attack passerbys and people who live in civilization, because sometimes they get angry with them.
The druid says interesting. Go ahead.
So could this be a whole druid circle?
Maybe? Though the disappearances would be in a far wider area. If it is a druid circle, it would have to be the circle of the mountain druids, but what purpose would they have for kidnapping though? If anything, they'd rather just kill them and be done with it, unless this isn't a circle of the land type of druids. Which means that it could, if it's moon, then it could be, if it's moon, then we'd be seeing more normal animal sightings because they can wild shape into normal animals. But that's not the case here. And if it's wildfire, they'd be burning everything to the ground.
There's no circle of like abominations, is there? Please tell me there's not.
Horatio, the closest you know of being close to that would be because of your talks with Thrin. You know that the circle of spores would be the closest to that, and they're mainly centered around undead.
Okay. I just repeat that back.
Right. It would be the circle of spores most likely, and they're focused more around undead than anything else.
Yeah.
Which is what Horatio tells you, Beijing.
Perry, you're muted.
I know, I'm the princess.
Are you taking care of Scruffy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get her calmed down.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, wizard?
Circle of spores.
Yeah.
Oh, sir.
Dealing with mostly undead, though.
Alrighty.
Or they deal with mostly undead.
So, thank the gods for no, Circle of the Mind Flayer.
I don't think...
knows what that is.
You would, actually, because everyone has to deal with that somewhat, but Aloy almost has a spit take. I don't think the Mind Flayers care on nature that much.
I don't think so either.
But if we are dealing with them, that might not end well.
Well, how big can a druidic circle of spores reach would be?
How far can spores reach?
Yeah.
No, he's saying that rhetorically, as if to say, like, you know how spores are carried on the wind to far-reaching places?
Fair enough.
But this seems centered on a certain area, so we might not be dealing with that much of a problem then. Though that's kind of a dark turn if even our druid circles are causing problems. It might look bad on people like you, Horatio.
Sorry, say that again.
He said it might look bad on people like you, Horatio, mainly referring to druids.
But what might look bad on us?
If druids are harming innocent people.
Yeah. Yes, that's very deeply concerning to me. I don't want them getting in the way of what I'm trying to do that's a good thing. It won't get in the way of my quest.
I hope it doesn't. But, so, my question is, how are we going to deal with this? Are we going to fight the monsters first, then see if we can find where they're coming from?
Yeah, maybe we can follow them back to their hiding place. And... basically.
I kind of think we should pick off the more problematic one and follow the rest back.
That's good. Sounds good.
Sounds like
Last time I checked, an owl bear will leave you alone as long as you leave its cubs alone. So,
that's true. Though it looks like they're paying good money for it, regardless. Oh, sorry.
So, you want to split? Say what you want to say, Larry.
No. I was saying so because I heard you say something and you paused for a while, and I was like, so.
We all want to split up to try to make our own preparations, or do we want to just go ahead and set out and head to one of the problem locations and see where we can go?
I think it would potentially be a good idea to prepare first. I have a few potions that I probably need to brew in preparation for hunting monsters like this.
I personally need to sell and try to acquire a couple of things. So,
hello,
or at least want to try.
Ren?
Hey.
Right. Well, I hope that your buying and selling is able to go well, though. Well, considering you are a bit of a gambler, I'm sure you'll be able to find a price for anything.
Don't show me the black market.
You act like there's one in this town with a with a garrison of military nearby. Actually, wait, that sounds like a perfect place for it to be.
That's what. Well, is it the Thieves Guild? The black market's not too far away.
I wouldn't know. I've never been here, but knowing you'll find it.
Real quick, sorry. I was gonna try to rejoin, but I'm not going to. For right now, at least. Maybe later. Sorry.
All
Bye.
right.
Okay. Are you okay, Keith?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Alright.
Anyway. Alright, so...
Thoughts?
I got nothing myself. Hillary's is most likely gonna go brew his potions if there's no more conversation to be had. You guys can go prepare if you want, or see if you can get other people to join you if you want to. You do have a bit of people. You do have quite a group of people you could ask for help from.
In seeking out the beasts or the druids?
Yeah. I mean, there's a Chalk and his friends. There's the paladin and her cleric, though I don't know how much help they'll be. And there's also, well, actually, that's mainly them. Greyfang's a bit of a husk right now that's only able to follow commands, but I don't know how much help he'd be.
Okay.
I thought for a second you meant there was like townspeople too or something.
Mm-mm.
If you want to go first, I've got dirt
Sure.
brain.
It's alright. Give me a split second. Get a certain baby girl inside. Hey,
Alright.
come on. Come on. Hey. Hey, yeah, I know I smell a cat. Come on. Come on. Inside. Come on. Alright. First off, Beige, he's gonna pack up his thing. And, well, he's gonna put away his ale and whatnot. And roll up the map with the missing persons posters and monster posters with the map inside the scroll case.
Mm-hmm. Once again, just to let you guys know, you guys just visited the Adventurers Guild, but there's also the Mages Guild, the Inn/Tavern, the Lightbringer Church, the Powdered Alchemy Shop, and the Maiden Smith.
Beiju's gonna roll over to the Maiden Smith first.
Alright. As you walk in, you see that there's a fire Ganassi. He seems to be with fiery red skin. He seems to be hammering away at a piece of metal. Welcome to the Maiden Smith. I'm Fear, or Fire, however you want to pronounce it. He points up at the board that has FYRE written into it, and then he says, "How can I help?"
What's your policy on secondhand armor?
How bad we talking exactly?
He pulls away his travel cloak and shows a scale map.
He kind of looks at it. What you asking for exactly?
Well, I wouldn't say full price because there's a couple bullet holes and stuff stuck inside this.
Kind of like looks at it a bit and says, "Mind taking it off so I can get a closer look?"
Yes. Give me a second. He'll yank it, and he'll I wouldn't say yank it, but he pulls it off.
It takes you a bit to take because it's medium armor, but once you're able to get it off, he kind of looks over and says, "You've been into a mess with this thing. Like, were you getting hit by?"
Too many big things.
He kind of looks it over a bit. Well, even if I put the normal materials back into the thing, it'd be pretty shot. Though I do got a theory that could work.
What's that?
How much money you got on you first? Just before I recommend this idea.
132 gold and a pile of copper.
I could, well, from what it looks like, the steel is starting to wear thin on this thing. It's been used a bit too long, but I've been meaning to test out some of that myth those dwarves have access to. I was able to get a buyer to get some for me, and I'm thinking that your scale mail might be a good test subject for it.
What was that?
Basically, he's saying that he's willing to reforge your armor, but with mithril.
Mithril.
Yeah, he got a buyer to get it off some dwarves for him.
Me wearing dwarven mithril.
It won't be dwarven mithril.
How much?
It won't be dwarven mithril. It's definitely gonna be good old Ganassi mithril. He says with a bit of a smirk. But do you want me to weave it into this set, or you want a new set?
Okay. What are the benefits of weaving it in?
Cheaper. Less mithril in the frame, but it still serves the same purpose either way. Might have have a little less of that. Have a little less. It's gonna take a bit more weaving to weave magic into it, because mithril's kind of weird with magic sometimes.
Alrighty.
But it's not that bad. This word chain shirt or breastplate, I could say you could wear it under normal clothes, but yeah.
Alrighty. And a complete overhaul for
Costs more, but you get a full set of mithril in there, and then when magic gets weaved into it, it'd be a lot easier to deal with. Less of the conflicting metals, because metals have a weird thing with magic sometimes. If you wanted to take this over to the Mages Guild and get it enchanted, which might cost you a pretty penny already.
Don't get me started on me. Guild. Alright. How much would it cost for your basic weaving idea?
Looking at this thing, yeah, I'd say it costs the same as the scale mill itself, 50.
Alrighty.
If you wanted a new set, it'd cost 100 because I'd have to completely remake it I have to make it from scratch.
100 for a set of mithril.
100 for mithril scale mill.
Sure.
The mithril costs 50 by itself.
Of course.
Hey, this thing's pretty uncommon around here, so.
Oh, this is gonna bite me. This is probably gonna bite me in the butt. Real quick, what are the benefits of mithril armor?
Okay, so mithril armor normally, so you know how scale mill gives disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks?
Yeah.
That's gone, and if you make an armor out of mithril in general, the strength requirement for it is gone as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's how mithril armor works. It's light and flexible.
How much is the reward for this for the missing persons and these wandering monsters?
So far at first they were offering like per head, but at this point, just solving the mystery in general, they're offering about I don't think of a good price. About 1,000 gold.
All right.
Altogether.
Yeah, I know. Altogether, yes. All right. You see Beiji rooting around for his coin pouch, and he basically tosses the pouch to the blacksmith.
Awesome.
Count out 100 for you, and then give me the rest back.
You want the full set?
Well, I thought about selling you the armor, and then going over to the Mages Guild and seeing if I can get a cloak of protection. But if I can,
I mean, if you're selling the armor, then you'll knock 50 off the price, so it'll only cost 50 then. Because scale mail is still good armor. Your armor is worn, but it's still good.
True.
Probably sell it to some other adventuring sucker.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Reforge it with the mithril. How long do you think it'll take?
Okay, just to be clear, you want your current set with mithril weaved in.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, it's gonna take. Thankfully, because he's working with already existing metal, it's only gonna take him maybe a couple of hours. If it was a full set, it would have taken him at least a day. Because scale mail, you got to make the different scales and then weave them together and everything.
Yeah.
This one will be done pretty fast.
Okay. Yeah, weed the mithril in for me. So.
All right.
So that'll be about.
Come back in about 2 hours. I should be done by then. He says as he starts up the forge.
All right then.
Where do you want to head to next?
Veiji's gonna then, he's gonna then motor on over to the, Scruff, what do you? He's gonna then motor on over to the alchemy shop.
All right. As soon as you walk in, you see a female water genasi kind of like sitting at the counter. Seems to be drinking something, which you realize is a base vial.
I would ask why you're chugging the basic material, but I think I might know the answer.
I'm a water genasi. Acidic stuff doesn't work on me. Or corrosive stuff, rather. He says as she finishes chugging it. Besides, I wanted to see if I got the batch right. I say I did.
What are you trying to do?
I'm making a new base for some alchemical recipes.
You're testing them on yourself?
Well, it's more I'm tasting it.
I just saw you chug that whole vial.
Yes, it's just the base. The base I have to add into the actual alchemy. This is just to see if I got the recipe right. I got it on a fluke before, and I wanted to see if I could recreate it, and it seems like I did. So now I know what materials I need for it. Anyway, she stands. My name is Rezavir. How can I help you?
Beiji Fingbao. This is going to be some odd questions here, but I'm just coming in here for Molotov cocktail items. Maybe some other stuff. Think of it.
If you want things to light on fire, I could give you alchemist fire if you wanted.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Beiji's at the alchemy shop talking to a water genasi who just chugged a vial of base.
Alright. Alchemist fire. What's that?
Oh, this baby. She kind of like pulls out a batch of it and sits it down. Ugh. Okay. These babies are sticky and adhesive. It's a sticky and adhesive fluid. She kind of like uncorks one of them and it immediately lights on fire. And then she seals it back up and the fire eventually dies down as the oxygen burns out. So this thing and anything within a 20-foot radius, anything with a 20-foot radius, lights on fire. It gets lit on fire. Gotta take a while to put this thing out. For out of character, it does 1d4 fire damage at the start of each turn, and it takes a DC 10 dexterity check to extinguish the flames. That's per vial, by the way.
How much is one of these?
Normally they're 50, but I'm trying to get these things off my hands, so I'm slashing the price on them.
How much?
I'm making the price is 10% of what it usually be. Instead of 50, it's 5. She says as she sets the vial back down.
Beiji just kind of looks up at her. How much is the whole batch?
She kind of looks and says, "How many do?" Well, I got. Kind of looks about 6 of them, so that costs you maybe 30 gold. Better than the 300 it would have cost beforehand.
Beiji, Beiji just looks at the War Ganassi for a little bit. If I was single, I would get you.
Noted. Well, I was gonna offer a deal to you in case that price still didn't work for you.
30 for 6 vials. I would. That is a steal.
How about 6 for 6? Beiji's reaction right now just jaw drops.
What happened to him?
The Water Ganassi asked, "What if I sell you 6 alchemist flasks for 6 gold altogether?"
Excuse me.
What? He pinches the bridge of his nose and he pulls out 6 gold and gives it to her.
Alright, I was gonna say that I was gonna tell you the agreement to the deal if you wanted that price, but you're gonna have to.
What's the agreement, or what's attached to that?
Well, I want to test out a new compound I've been working on.
He kind of sallies up to the counter a little bit. He's like, all right, what are we talking here?
She kind of like pulls out this jar. Okay, I wanted to see if I could make any more. The reason why I was working with the acid is because I wanted to see if I could make any other corrosive material, and I think I got something right here. Usually we have a bit of trouble corroding some of these metals. You know those black pudding things, right?
Yes, and I hate them.
Those things tear through magical weapons and armor like tissue paper, and I've been trying to figure out a way to replicate what they do, but more for our use. And I think I was finally able to figure out how.
Alright.
So, what I'd like you to do is, if you run into something that has some, it replicates the process on anything magical. Magical monsters, they usually share the same properties as magical metal. So if you can test it on that works as well. But basically, I want you to chuck this thing at something and record the findings.
Chuck it at anything.
Preferably an enemy, just to see what it does over the long term in a fight. Because mainly this is going to be used in warfare potentially. Oh, I don't know. It could even melt some stuff for a mine. I usually don't spill this type of thing because she kind of like motions to her floor, which has holes in it.
That's from you testing.
That's from accidentally dropping a few vials here and there. They ain't no joke.
All right. So 6 for 6. And I throw that at something and tell you what happened.
Yep. Oh, you can throw the whole thing, throw a little bit of it. Anything works. The more results you get, the more I'll be willing to give you a discount in the future. She kind of like leans forward on one elbow.
All right. Alright. While I'm also here. Alright. So 6 for that.
Mm-hmm.
Check. I should have been prepared earlier. Alrighty. That's... Oh, I meant... Okay, okay, on top of this, materials for at least 2 Molotov cocktails.
Alright, I can get you. All right, I can get you the alcohol and a random cloth. That'll work. That work for you?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, what type of alcohol you want to use? Cause
I would say bottom shelf because there's not a high likelihood I'll be drinking this.
all right then. I think I have some ale around here that could work. I've been making my own type of ale just for use in some experiments, so that should work best. She pulls out like she pulls out like how much ale do you want exactly? She asks you.
She pulls out one of his live Molotovs. Something about this size.
She pulls out 4 bottles of ale.
All right.
These are like. By the way, these are like. Imagine like wine bottle size, so bigger than your normal like bottles of alcohol.
Oh. That's a steal right there.
Yeah, I use a lot of it, so.
All right.
That'll cost you about 2 silver each.
2 silver. Huh.
Yeah. Ale costs copper. Ale costs copper. Why would I make people spend more?
Well, the last couple places I've been, I've had to shell out at least 10 gold for all the materials for a Molotov cocktail. So.
Well, you were getting stuff that was better than ale, so there was your first problem.
You're not wrong.
I bet you were getting really ripped off.
So you said 2 silver for that?
Yeah, 2 silver.
Alright. He'll kick out the 2 silver to her.
Alright.
And,
oh, that's per bottle, so that's 8 silver total.
Oh. Oh, so she's overloading me here, jeez.
She's giving you a gallon of ale per bottle.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So that brings me up to 8 Molotov cocktails on my person.
Mm-hmm.
And, probably... Have you heard of gunpowder before?
I heard that's the... that sounds like more of a dwarven thing to me. I remember a friend of mine was trying to break into the market over there, but she got caught, and things didn't exactly go well for her.
Oh.
I didn't happen to pick this up off of her. She pulls out notes for how to make gunpowder.
All right then.
If you want, I can sell it to you.
I was about to ask if you had the materials for at least 20 rounds, but I'll take your notes myself.
She hands it over to you. I'm not getting into that dwarven business. I don't want them hunting me down.
Trust me, I got into a dueling match with one of those little bearded grunts.
Well, aren't you an interesting one?
I shouldn't do this, but yeah, he'll pull out the pistol he had. This is what I have. So.
Oh, pretty interesting. Though I'm surprised you haven't made more than that. From what I hear, the dwarves like to make even bigger guns than that.
Well, currently right now I don't have I wouldn't exactly have the funds to I don't exactly have the funds to fund bigger firearms. And also I kind of want to do that experimentation when I'm closer to home.
Makes sense. What I hear, Riss is pretty cold this time of year, though. You look like you can take the cold.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not missing the heat much. Or, I would say my dad would be, moaning about his, cold pains currently, so... Alright. How much for your notes?
Since I like you that much, how about 4 gold?
I got a feeling I'll be back in here. I'll up that for you. Make it 10.
Oh, well, if you keep working like this, you're definitely getting that discount.
Yeah. And also, just so you tell you, I'm a part of a caravan, so I might be moving on eventually. But if a dwarf named Dwellin comes walking in here giving flack, just tell him a dragonborn named Beiji was here, said nothing about any of your secrets.
You got it, she says with a bit of a smirk.
So that will bring us to a total of 16 gold and 8 silver.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
All right.
Anything else you want to do?
That's Horatio. Want to do anything?
Yeah.
Let me see in my stuff. Anything here? No, I'm good.
Alright.
Though, Horatio does have something happen to him as well.
Oh, okay.
Though we can say that if you want.
No. Go ahead.
Alright. So, I'm guessing you're kind of like sitting at the nearby fountain, kind of like waiting for the others, or kind of like looking for something to do.
Oh, yeah.
So, as you're kind of like sitting around, kind of waiting, where's it at? Wait a second here. Okay. You're kind of like wondering, kind of like thinking a little bit, and the wind picks up for a moment, and you notice that the leaves are blowing more out there. And then you hear a voice say from right next to you, "Hello, old friend."
I look to where the voice is.
And you see, and then you see your old friend Thrin kind of just sitting next to you at the fountain, coming out of nowhere, as someone like him usually does.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you startle me.
I do have a habit of that now, don't I?
What are you doing here?
Just thought I'd come to check up on you. I did see you at the play, after all. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh, I wish I'd seen that you were there.
It takes a bit. People usually don't notice me. But despite how much I might stick out, he says, kind of like brushing a few twigs out of his hair.
It was an enthralling story, though, I will admit.
I can't wait for them to come around again. Fae are always good with plays like that, from what I can tell. They have long enough memories to do that.
I'd even watched the same story twice. Nearly made me cry.
Oh, yes, it's so beautiful. Having seen it firsthand, I can definitely say that they got that one right.
Mm-hmm. I'm a hopeless romantic, so...
Is this hopeless romantic have his eye on somebody yet? He kind of nudges you with his staff.
Oh, just a monk.
What happened with that monk that you're traveling with, perchance?
He would be.
My, our Horatio is a little flirt now, isn't he? Gone much...
Oh, stop.
You've gotten much better since I've last seen you.
Well, I was still a little repressed after the other stuff.
How is your training coming along?
I'm doing quite well. Learned a few more spells recently. Haven't really tested them out yet.
I'm sure you'll be able to. Especially if I hear correctly, have there been disappearances in this area?
Yes, unfortunately, and they do have to do with our fellow druids, I believe.
Hopefully it doesn't prove out to be true, but if it is, well, there's no one I'd trust more than you to be able to handle it.
Thank you.
It's no trouble at all, he says with a bit of a smile. And then he kind of like taps his staff, and a tree root kind of like shoots out of the ground and shows a bouquet of flowers.
Wait, how did he make the flowers?
He tapped his staff, and a tree root shot out of the ground, and a bouquet of flowers grew out of it.
Talented as ever.
It's just the usual thing. I can never be as clever as you are with these things. Or how clever you will be one day with these things.
All I have to do with these... you're saying?
Who knows, I might even show you a trick or two one day. He gives a bit of a wink.
So where will you go now, friend?
I don't know. I thought about heading south to see what I could do to help with the current pandemic going on right now. I and our all the druids are kind of stumped about this, to be honest. Even the Circle of Dreams, my old friend is swarmed with requests for help. She'll be overwhelmed soon enough, from what I understand. Though I might head into the human lands, as they don't have as many druids to help with them as the elves do.
Mayhaps you could help with the disappearances as well.
Oh, the disappearances. Yes. What's going on nearby? Well...
If it's not too out of your way, that is.
I'm afraid that I would kind of stick out in this situation, though I can offer any aid in terms of information or anything about the area if you seek that. Showing up myself, I think I'd cause a bit of a stir in that regard. If it is indeed a druid you're looking for, he'd notice me probably right away.
Would he know what all of the different kidnapping victims have in common?
He might, yeah, since he would be able to call upon the plants to answer the question for him.
Would you perhaps know what all the missing people have in common?
You see him kind of lean forward on his staff a little bit, and you see the staff kind of have roots grow into the ground, and the wood of the staff kind of grows into his hands. He kind of thinks for a moment. And you see that his skin changes from a vibrant from a blue to an orange, kind of to a green. Symbolizing spring.
Yeah.
Look, that's rather interesting. All the people that seem to be kidnapped were all healthy individuals, from what it looks like.
None of them are affected by the fever.
Not affected by or any illness, in fact. Not even a broken bone or a broken nose.
Is that all?
Goblinoids all appear to be of the same unit. The townspeople seem to be taken from nearby farmland that was all similar to each other. That's rather strange. All of them would have had contact with one particular mountain formation. Same mountain formation, in fact. There's a cave in that area, though. He kind of pauses for a moment. I cannot see into the cave. It's rather strange. There's no nature in there, from what it seems like. None that I can call upon.
Totally barren?
Maybe. It could be a dungeon of sorts. I know that the dwarves did carve out different areas through this area.
That is good information.
Also, I noticed a strange amount of displacer beasts. I would hate to think that some of the Fae have lost their pets. Well, if they have, well, it's their loss for not looking after them.
That's true.
Now, Decilo. He kind of like, let's go to the sanitation. I mean, not Decilo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
still.
okay.
You guys like to Horatio. Now, my friend, please stay safe. I'd like to have tea with you
You as well.
I'd like to have tea with you again sometime.
You too.
Where might I find you next? I assume that you'll be heading somewhere with this caravan once it gets moving again.
We're continuing west, right?
Yeah, to the capital of Trevland, Newton, which is on the map that's in the discussion, by the way.
We'll be heading to Newton next.
Ah, the capital of the humans. Oh, the port town is so lovely. That sounds like I must take you to a tea shop there. It has a lovely balcony that overlooks the sea. That overlooks the bay, actually. I'm sure you'll love it.
That sounds tempting, yes. And here for the road, he produces one of his signature, not a flower crown, just a little flower bracelet.
He puts it
like
on.
Little blue cosmos.
He puts it on almost immediately. I love it when you make these.
It's my favorite.
Oh. He kind of takes his staff in hand. I bid you the best, my friend.
You as well.
Stay as light as the wind. And then the wind blows again, and he turns into he wild shapes into a hawk and flies off. And you notice that the ground around you has grown into a beautiful meadow of flowers thanks to him summoning that tree branch.
Aww. He just admires that. Alright.
Alright. Anything else you all would like to do?
I think I'm all good.
Beijing?
Actually, like...
Oh.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You go ahead.
At some point, Beiji's either A, gonna go try to pick up his armor, or B, he's just probably gonna come back towards the, well, he's gonna come back to the, adventuring guild and try to play cards with someone to try to pass the time.
Roll me a gambling check. Proficiency with intelligence.
All right, well, and guess what? I'm currently standing out in my yard right now, so give me a second to type this out.
All right.
All right. Should be a +6 total, so... Yeah. 13?
You're able to make about 15 gold off the bet, off the games you guys played. They almost had you there for a second, but you were able to come out with. But thankfully, everyone's cards kind of turned crap as they only had one of a kind. Meanwhile, you had a pair of twos and a pair of fives.
He'll just be chuckling. Recent purchases. Is Horatio still in the adventuring hall?
Horatio is currently sitting at the fountain in the middle of town, admiring the meadow of flowers that has grown.
Alright.
I was just like sitting at my feet.
Visual event. We'll wander out back where Horatio is. What happened here?
Oh, an old friend showed up, actually. He grew this little patch. So nice, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
I actually did obtain some information from him about the missing people.
He told you something?
Well, apparently they were all healthy. None of them had the fever, no injuries, no nothing. And they were apparently from farmland, if I'm right.
Some of them were, yeah. All the ones that were taken from farmland were all around the same area.
Yeah. Sorry. My sister's screaming in the back. And they'd also visited the dungeon, or
yeah, they visited a cave formation that seems to have no plants in it, which made Thrin think that it might have been a dungeon.
Yeah. They'd all visited a cave formation that may have been a dungeon because there were no plants in it.
Alrighty. Did you give a relative location, or we're gonna have to hunt for this?
Did he?
So he seemed to be referring to the mountain that was closest to civilization, there's actually a lone mountain that kind of like peaks at the border between Britvalia, Trevland, and Steamer that's nearby. Like if you look at the tribe border they have, it would be right at that point.
So is it which is it Then or wait, did you say I'm right or?
Wait, I didn't hear you there. What did you say?
Is it Azin or Kunrich? Or...
It's so if you look between Dog Coast and Kurtamikan, it'd be at that line. You see where like the blue of Britvalia, the pink of Steamer, and the orange of Trevland all kind of like meet at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be right there, like the center of the radius.
In the it's the mountain in the middle of the tri-state area.
That's an interesting way to describe this area, but it's a fair point.
Tri-country area.
The Tri-Mountainous area!
Tri-Mountainous area!
The main villain turns out to be Doofenshmirtz.
I was about ready to ask if your friend had said the guy was named Doofenshmirtz.
No, just Thrin.
Alright.
And I made up the tri-state area thing.
Alright.
Horatio Doofenshmirtz, just call me that from now on.
Oh my goodness.
Alright. Alright, Doofenshmirtz.
Good, actually. Well, yeah, we might be able to investigate from there.
Well, it does kind of make sense, since when looking at that radius, it seems they would have the common point of whatever's in the middle, so...
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So we can inform the others then.
Alright. You do inform the others, and funnily enough, you see Aluri's there to greet you all, and you see a Chalk there too. Kind of like with his signature bow and stuff ready.
Oh.
I decided to grab a tag along.
That's good.
Yeah, might as well do something, or else I'm gonna get nagged at by Joe and all them. I'd rather not.
So you basically don't want to suffer from cabin fever.
Basically, let's go with that.
All right.
Alright. So I guess we better get going then, huh?
Real brief. The repair job. Would that have been completed by now?
Yes, actually. After your gambling game had gone on for quite a while, it would be done at this point.
Alright then. And Beige will grab his will grab that. Real brief.
Alright.
And that was 50 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Alright. We can move on. Understood.
Right. My question is, would you guys like to explore now, or?
What else would there be?
No, I mean, like, do you guys want to go out on an adventure this session, or?
What do you want to do, Perry?
That's a good question. Because technically you only have
Yeah, 2 people might not be enough for that.
Yeah, it'd be you 2 and then 2 NPCs to help you out.
It's true. I don't know if they'd want to miss out on a dungeon crawl or everybody else, though.
Now, trust me, the dungeon crawl wouldn't be happening without them, but it's the other stuff along the way, like the hunting the monsters and stuff. If you guys want to do that with or without them or not, as well.
I'm gonna be real, my head's been way out of the game, like, pretty much the whole session. So I don't know. I would definitely be fine in battle, I mean, what were you gonna say, Perry? Sorry.
I've been most of the session has been on my phone. And I've been trying to appease a certain little girl.
Silly girl.
Like, I don't have any other treats, and the good treats here are medicine, which you shouldn't be taking too much of. Alright? I got nothing else.
Scruffy! So, are we both thinking that we leave the rest to next session, or?
Part of me wants to say that might
What?
be the best.
Yeah.
Technically, actually, I would have one question for Fire, but
you can do that now if you wanna.
Yeah.
Alright. More roleplay! Yee!
Yeah!
As Beiji puts on the mithril job, or the scale mail with mithril weave. Fire. I got a question for you.
What's up?
This is gonna sound a little weird, but part of the reason why I'm traveling so much is for my big brother.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen what's his expression like?
He's kind of like wondering like what your big brother looks like. Because he's looking at you and he's like, Jesus.
Just so you know, I'm technically the run.
Yeah,
right
that's his thing.
Black Dragonborn, probably this much taller than.
Oh, God damn it.
Kind of has an intensity about him.
Kind of like a familiar customer I had at some point. He was asking for me to repair. He was asking for me to repair his weapons for him and his armor too. It's pretty banged up.
How banged up we talking?
Like he put it through the ringer somewhat. Like it smelled horrible too.
Like the stench and rot of death.
Oh yeah.
What kind of weapons was he carrying?
Out of character, do you have an idea of what weapons Homer would use, or?
Longsword, warhammer, and probably some sort of a war scythe for piercing.
Oh, so had a longsword, pretty normal, you know. A warhammer that while it looks like it could swing a mean hit and crush someone's skull, had some spikes in places that I didn't expect there to be spikes in, and then he had this other weapon too. It was kind of weird to describe.
Is it like something you would use for the harvest?
Kinda, but modified to heck and back to be something else.
Alright. That sounds like him.
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
Maybe about a week ago.
Did he say where he was heading?
Just said that he had picked up a job that he needed to do with some friends. From what I could tell, it had something to do with the undead. I don't know whether there's any undead problems. Might be down in the Orange Fever area if enough people are dying enough, and I haven't heard anything but undead down there.
Beiju will say. Alright.
I hope we find your brother. I have family of my own, and I don't know what I'd do if I was searching for them and I couldn't find them.
Well, currently I'm going to about ready to go to the corridors of shadows and back for him, but
now that's real brotherly love right there. He kind of pats you on the shoulder.
Yeah. Did you make any small talk at all?
Mainly asked how the business was, asked how safe it was out here. When I told him about the disappearance, he kind of perked up at that and said he might look into it.
Alrighty. When he left, did he go in any sort of direction?
No, he just left the shop. He met with some friends out on the market and they left together. I don't know how they got past the blockade, though, is my the closed down border, though, is my thing, if they're heading out into Steamer and the like. I mean, not Steamer, Traveland and the like. Did you catch that?
What?
Still Perry caught that.
Oh. Alright. Ah, shit. Dante Bosco live stream.
Still can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. I hear you now.
Alright. Did he go and come back?
There you are.
Like, what was the repair job like?
Was it pretty well it took me a couple of hours to complete it. Actually no, it took me a whole day to fix this stuff up. Came back, he grabbed it, he paid me. What else did he say? Oh, he said if I saw someone like you, he'd tell him as a joke, eat your greens? Something like that.
I have been eating my greens, by the way. And Beiju will like turn and like look into a shadow and like, I have been eating them.
And then he said that if this next job goes right, he should be seeing you soon.
This next shop?
If his next job goes right.
Alright. Probably went to the Adventuring Guild. You said it was 50 for the job? For this repair job here?
Yeah, 50.
Alright. She dolls out the coin. You don't know how much this information you just gave me. Alrighty.
Well, if it helps at all, then it's worth it. Because he kind of like scoops the coin into like a container.
And Asia will head out.
Have a nice day.
You too. He'll say. That's it.
Alright. And I suppose that will stop there for now then. Unless you guys got something else you want to do. I asked if you guys wanted to do anything else or if that was it.
Yeah. I'm all good.
Alright.
I kind of want to run down this thread more, but at the same time, I'm not sure how far that'll get.
Well, I'll tell you that when you're investigating at the Adventurers Guild, you would find out that your brother would have looked into the mysterious job as well, but he never took, like, a poster board. Like, he said that he'd look into it on his own if he had the time.
Okay. Alright then, that's fair.
Yeah, so this might have something to do with your brother, too.
He'll briefly ask the receptionist if he stared at one particular poster. Specific.
Mainly the Shadow Mastiffs. He seemed kind of irked by the fact that there are Shadow Mastiffs waiting outside the corridors of darkness.
Alright. That's probably the most you'll get out of there. Yeah, that's probably a good spot then.
Alright, and we'll save the expedition into the Trevlendian countryside for next time.